Hey everyone, your girl Liz here. So coming to you guys today now. I obviously didn't take time to edit this picture whenever I had brought this up earlier today, but I wanted to go ahead and do that. And then I obviously have my bedroom door shut now, but my gram is out there de-thawing the hamburg, and then we're gonna have some spaghetti tonight. We haven't had spaghetti in a while. We've just been having a lot of beef and pork recently. And we kind of also got off the fish routine, but that's okay. Anyhow, guys, so I just wanted to come on and briefly touch on the what I hadn't added earlier today. So, the green is additions for here as well, and then the purple, I actually didn't quite word it the way that I wanted to. So it's simple. So obviously, since you don't want to go on a walk every day, but it's also recommended, right? So it's also a daily thing, right? It's not like an as needed kind of thing, or a personal preference to be as needed. I don't know if as needed is, but on a casual basis, I guess you would say. So on a casual basis, there we go. So yeah, you also embrace, and it's also okay to escalate, right? If you do the high knees the next night, but then try to up your game in your running, right? Like I do. There's nothing ill that comes from continuing to up your running regimen, and having goals in that. And then also incorporating, since again, though, it seems like it's on an as needed basis, but it's really not, because you're supposed to exercise every day. It's any medical organization will back that. You're supposed to exercise every day. I don't know if they still have it at 10,000. I heard my gram briefly say that they changed it maybe now to like 7,000. I don't remember. But anyhow, guys, so, it's okay if it does escalate, and then since it's only personal preference basis, you're okay with every time being a new time, because it's not expected every single day, and you're also not wanting to engage in it every day. And if you did engage in a personal preference like that every single day, then yes, you could very easily get into like the girl, right? Really deep in it, really depressed. So you could actually end up getting like that if you choose to say, well, it's gonna be, like running or like exercise, which is required every single day and is very highly recommended every single day by multiple organizations, pretty much all major medical health organizations, right? So it's like, yeah, so when it's that, you actually embrace being like every time a new time, right? Like, the first time you hear of breast, right, in health class, right, and they might show a picture of female's breast, right? I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I just had the memory come through.
Yeah, since people like this a lot.
Yeah, so, and I think I was wearing this bra too. No, I was wearing a black bra, but no, and I had my hair, anyhow, I had my hair in a ponytail that day too, but that reminds me of that guy underneath the bridge, or whoever wrote it. I mean, you would assume that it would be a guy, right? But I mean, a lesbian could have wrote that, you don't know. But anyhow, I like females' breasts very much, yes, guys. How about we don't swim under there? And how about we don't start our paddleboard underneath this bridge, guys? So yes, onto the Susquehanna. Let's not, guys. But yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to come on and share that. That was a nice little 5-minute intro. But yeah, you embrace it being a new time every time, and if there is something, that does escalate, it's in the slightest, and that's also totally okay. But it also, again, when you're talking a everyday recommendation, it wouldn't be okay to just kind of abandon ship and say, okay, well, I ran 5K, so that'll be that. And it's like, no, like, keep going, like as much as you can, right? Some people just can't do a half marathon or half marathon. I've been saying half of a half marathon so much recently this year. So some people just can't do it, but that's fine, as long as you're still continuing in other aspects, and then, just kind of find that baseline and just be okay with, you know, going back to like old records every once in a while. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? So yeah, so you embrace and you're totally okay with, you know, yeah. Yeah, okay, I don't need to keep driving home this point. You guys get the point. So, yes. So, anyhow, guys, thank you again for watching. And then, like I said, I'm gonna definitely try my, headbands to, here after dinner with you guys. I think I'll just stick with the headband for now. And then I can get something similar to, like, my trail cams, and just kind of have that loop around my head. Or like a hat, you know, like a visor. No, definitely not a visor, Alyssa. You're going underneath water. You need something like secure. So I was thinking of something like that, like a trail camera strap, but the headband as well. So we'll get into that here in just a couple seconds for you guys, and for me it'll probably be at least another 45 minutes until I'm done with my spaghetti. So anyhow, guys, thank you again for watching. Talk to you guys in just a second. That's right, Momo.
There was just so much joy in everything she did, and it doesn't match what was in that journal.
200 pages of self-loathing. Parents.
Yeah. You're having all these great conversations.
Great conversations. It just doesn't seem possible, but it's what reality was. Because it's written right here.
Hey everyone, your girl Liz here. So speaking of what I had shared earlier with, you know, always try to remind yourself and remind people as well of what they can sometimes become unaccustomed to and even desensitized to. So for example, like whenever my coworker had passed, obviously, from his tragic accident, a lot of people actually wrote on his page, right? Like I had only known him for such a little bit of time and he left such an, you know, big impression, and I'm just gonna be in a really rough spot for quite some time, right? So it's like, yeah, you know, do you, because if you get to know them and then you just go off the board, it could feel the same it just doesn't make sense to them. It's like, yeah, you know, like, that's great, you know, the first time you came in here, you know, I told you that, you know, like, where I live, and it's like, yeah, you know, and now, whenever you came back the second time, you know, you didn't just come back just to come back. Like, you actually had a reason. Your gram needed a different size, so then you switch it, you know, you switch out the size for her, and I order it for you. And it's like, yeah, you know, you are right. Like, we do have to, you know, kind of come to the bigger populated cities, right? To try to have more of an opportunity, right, to meet somebody. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to give you my number, and then I'm just going to fade off the face of the earth, right? Like, that could be the same, you know, catastrophic feeling that these people have. Obviously, you know, kind of like I had shared in my Why I Quit My Job story time. So obviously, you know, there's, obviously, it's like, yeah, you know, I look for my daughter and I try to search for my daughter, but I have to remember who she actually is, which is she puts on a show that she's somebody else, and it's like my daughter doesn't exist, right? So you could also have that same kind of, you know, you're gone, and you're just gone, right? And it's like, you know, you really put the thought in somebody's head. It's like, do you really feel like that bad? Do you know what I'm saying? It's always something to, you know, kind of think about. You know, am I possibly setting this person up to just be, you know, just like, so it just doesn't make sense, you know? And like, would I rather have that, or would I rather just say no on this spot and just let that be? Or would I rather have that kind of legacy? And if that ends at the kind of legacy that you want, if you're putting on a show, that's an issue, and people obviously would present it different than, you know, people who, obviously, again, nobody has time for people who laugh at people with Down syndrome, right? So nobody has time, but again, they would present it much differently than assertiveness with, you know, why are you trying to make people worry about you when there's no need to worry about you, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, always a good thing to ask yourself, because, you know, yeah, their daughter's obviously not here physically. You're still here physically, but for them, it's like you're not here physically, because you just go silent, right? And obviously that's what a loved one not being here is. It's silence. They're not here, right? So it's like, always ask yourself, what would I rather have? Just be straightforward from the get-go, or would I rather, you know, really cause people that same amount of pain? What? Oh, okay. But yeah, you guys get what I'm saying, so always just something to think about. So anyhow, I have to finish my remaining 2 cookies, and then I will get with you guys for my snorkel. And then we'll have a celebration video tomorrow. We'll already be up around 20 minutes, and, you know, just a couple other shorter videos here, and we'll be about 30 minutes for tomorrow. So anyhow, guys, talk to you guys later. Hey everyone, your girl is here, so coming to you guys tonight now. This video will obviously be up in my videos for February time for my final insights and everything. But it was actually really crazy. I hope that, you know, I really wished, right, I could have gotten this last year, but that's fine. You know, it's actually gives a good insight now, and I guess I'll just share it, and then I'll look at the story. So definitely still doesn't quite seem 100%. You know, yeah, just looking, yeah, she definitely doesn't look as happy as the others. I think she might be hiding something, or maybe she just knows that it's almost been a year since, you know, the 2 of us have, you know, said goodbye. She definitely does look a little bit more happier than her. I did a lot of stupid shit last night. And I shared that before. But anyhow, I'll go ahead and read the caption. This is, you know, it made me smile, honestly, kind of like Michaela's video. So it says, it was such a surreal feeling to be closing a chapter that shaped me in ways I never expected. And then obviously, you know, the profession. School taught me so much more than technique. It taught me patience, confidence, and how to stay soft in a hard world. See, that's I I don't know if I really I would have to think for a little bit, honestly, on, and obviously I have until February. But I mean, yeah, that isn't denying, you know, that's just sharing a fact. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's letting the evil that is very real in this world also get to her. So anyhow, so yes, like I said, based upon the face, for sure. It's just, I don't know. You guys can see like, yeah, there's just something about it. Anyhow, and how to believe in my own potential. I'll forever cherish the memories, the friendships, the hours of practice, and the moments that made me feel like I was meant for this. What made it most special were the girls who stood by my side through it all, with a white heart. This chapter means everything to me, but I'm ready to step into the world as a, and then the title, and take everything I've learned to the next adventure. Awesome! So yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, I mean, what the heck? Like, you should have done that with me, right? A year ago, you should have said that, but you did. But again, I'm not gonna comment that. But it's one of those things that just kind of came through my mind. Hang on, guys. Oh my god, guys, that's great. I was just watching a video on here. These girls in Target. I have Hannah Johnson. There we go. I just recently subscribed to her today. Guys, it reminded me. Do you guys remember when I was in Target with my gram and that girl? She's like, oopsie. Guys, that was so great. Anyhow, guys, I just wanted to share that. That was great. Hey everyone, your girl is here coming to you guys today now. 6,000 steps at 9 o'clock. I am so excited and so happy today. I'm going to put these up with you guys later on today after I go swimming. I also am going to do my snorkel video here this morning with you guys. I decided I'm going to use my trail cam for my strap around my, airway. I don't know why I wanted to say nostril, but that'd be the right way. Obviously, it all starts somewhere, and obviously breathing through the air tube starts actually within your nostrils and your lungs themselves. Anyhow, guys, so I wanted to come on and share that briefly, that kind of what I had posted on Instagram, planting my seed, and then knowing, doing positive, right, by not reaching out afterwards, right, and starting shit, and then also not, not choosing her as well, to send, my tests this June to. It actually ended up working well, so, it's just like an amplified thing. It's like it couldn't have happened at a better time. So obviously, again, the Florida one already kind of like very strange coincidence to just so happen then, right? It's like, it's okay to be obsessed with me, right? And then, yeah, guys, like, holy cow, this is such a good feeling. How you can just amplify the feelings for yourself. So it was really, really cool. Finding that balance and, like, again, 100 times, be your own best friend, right? And find that balance in selfishness. So when you do, and you do find that balance too in assertiveness, and you set yourself realistic, and you also set yourself realistic expectations with slips too. So it's like, maybe if I do it 3 times in a row, I'll do it only 3 times in a row, maybe 4 times this year, right? And just don't get discouraged, and just always put a genuine 100% effort in, and you get to just stay happy and stay positive, regardless of the outcome of anything. So that was really, really cool. And then I did want to also come on and share. I did also do my research yesterday as well, and it looks like they just somehow get ED. Didn't make any sense to me, because how does it just didn't make sense why that would cause ED. Well, I guess maybe in a way it does, because like your blood pressure can only get so high before your heart just pops, well, I don't know if pop is the right word, but it just stops, right? And it just can't go anymore, right? So yeah, it's probably something like that. And I don't know if the tissues inside of the guy's area is similar to the heart, or other parts of the brain, or other parts of the body even, right? Like, eventually, I can't just hang upside down forever. Eventually, you die, and I think it's because all the blood rushes to your brain, and obviously it's extremely hard for your heart works much harder, I guess, too, because it has to go against the weight of gravity, right? And every single heartbeat is like squeezing a tennis ball, right? It's actually a fact. So it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's something like that, but, yeah, so again, it didn't make sense, but I figured out, and it actually has it's like a pre-MAPE or something. It's a weird name, but there's a scientific, or, a medical term for it. So yeah, I thought it was crazy. But yeah, that's why that also happens with the guys. That it's considered a medical emergency. So yeah, anyhow guys, I'm gonna go ahead here and get some more steps, and then I promise you I will do my snorkeling video with you guys. So here we go. Hey everyone, your girl is here, so coming to you guys today now. Officially now like 9:40. 9:35. I already have over 7,000, you guys can see. Absolutely insane. So I just want to come on and do my contact video. And I decided that I'm going to do my, probably my my second in age. So obviously I'm not going to use my grandfather's strap. I don't know, I just, I don't want it to get bad, and, that's obviously in remembrance of him, so I'm going to keep that a good, obviously, strap. I don't know what the chlorine and stuff will do to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my other strap and my snorkel, but first I have to put on my contacts, Duh. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these in here with you guys and show you guys just how fast I am. And then also I do have to go ahead and read my book with you guys as well. I actually didn't look at the retention yet on my book reading. I'll have to see how you guys were liking that. But I know that I had like no retention my entire celebration video swimming. I was very confused by that. I was definitely thinking you guys would like that, but somehow you guys mustn't have. It was very strange. But hey, you know, it's one time, you know, so no big deal, you know. And sometimes, you know, I do kind of go off topic a little bit, just like I did with the heart, you know, last video here. So, yeah, I can see, you know, and sometimes it's, you know, yeah. So I can see, but I mean, the line was pretty straight the whole time. So, it was rather strange. But anyhow, guys, so I might honestly not do a celebration video, but I might honestly do one as well. So we'll just have to see. And obviously it was time for the holidays, you know, so, you know. See, it's because it spun around. If it would have stayed straight and not have went around, I could just feel it. Okay, good. I thought it was blurry at first, but no, it's just because of this other eye. And love how you can almost like hear it kind of pasted on. It's kind of cool. Alright guys, so here we go with this. Alright. Close. Come on, you silly thing. Jeez. Come on. Guys, what the heck? This one's a longer one here this morning. It's fine. There we go. Alright guys, it took long enough, jeez. But I actually look really, really cute. I look freaking adorable in this top. I don't know what it is about it, but guys, it just makes me so cute. I love it. Alright guys, so now, with that being done, we'll go ahead here, set glasses off to the side for the day, or for the remainder of the day, and no. Keep the ponytail in. And this one is so long, I'll probably be able to, so we'll go ahead and put this through there, and put this through there. Okay, now it's ready to tighten when it's on my head. And I'll probably try to get it relatively close right now. Okay. Yeah, that's relatively close. Okay, guys. So now, let's go ahead and get on the snorkel. Oh, come on, Alyssa. Come on, girl. Jeez, girl. Come on. I can look like the pink shirt girl, guys. What the heck is going on back there? Okay. There's like a weird kink in it. I can't figure it out. Alright guys, so here we go. Exactly like I said last time, guys. It automatically just goes underneath the water. You gotta think of how high the water is, and I'm basically laying right in line with it. Alright guys, so there you guys saw it. It could probably just be a little bit tighter, honestly, but it looks like it's doing really, really well. And you guys saw I did a decent, I was actually biting it down like I would if I was underwater. I probably could find a little bit more leniency on that. Probably just increase my time under by like 30 seconds. And I would probably increase my time by at least 30 seconds. Jeez, look at the imprint. That's crazy. Anyhow, I'd probably increase my time by like 30 seconds just because, you know, I'm not biting down as hard. Sometimes I'm just biting down so hard that, you know, I need to resurface because I can't stay chomped down like that, you know. So yeah, I could probably improve my time by about 30 seconds with that. But it seems like I have it going on, guys. So now, today, I'm gonna have to, I'll do that, today, obviously in front of, with no mirror. Like, I'll go into the swimming area, and then I have, you know, put on my fins, and then I put on the mask. So I put on all my stuff when I'm in the actual pool area. So I'll go ahead and, you know, take advantage of that, and just, see how well I can do without a mirror in front of me. And then, yeah, that'll pretty much be my snorkel try for today. So yeah, I will be very excited to see how I do, and very excited to get a post-celebration video up with you guys. But yeah, I've pretty much covered everything, so I'll stop trying to just take up time, and, you know, you guys already know the gist of what's going on today, and that'll be that. So, anyhow, guys, thank you again for watching. I'll talk to you guys here probably this afternoon.
Hey everyone, your girl is here, so coming to you guys today. Now I'm going to go ahead and read a book, or read a chapter of my book. I went ahead and closed all of my blinds so you guys can see just how lovely and beautiful it is. I definitely love it much more than last year. As far as like the candy canes themselves and how they're easier to loop around. Because remember last year I had to put tape at like 5 different areas. It was just bothersome. But with these, I don't. They loop pretty well, and you can get them rather tight and all of that. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to go ahead here. I just got up to 10,500, so definitely a very big increase. And then I definitely have to really start getting to this because I want to make it a thing that on Monday I do my, no, because I work on Monday. Tuesday, without fail, I am doing I'm starting the Florida, what was that called? Like the operate a motor, I forget exactly the wording on it. But anyhow, I need to get my license so I can do a jet ski tour. And I also have to finish this too, this book. So you guys can see I'm just about over halfway, which is nice. So, and this is a really good book too. And obviously you guys saw I was down at like 2%, and then I was at 8% for my last time. So we'll see how I do. And I do actually pretty well, honestly. You know, with like showing, you know, the punctuation, right? So you actually show it, right? Like I said, you don't just have an exclamation point and just say, okay. Right, that's not what an exclamation point is. So anyhow, guys, we'll go ahead and get reading. And then we'll just chug-a-lug-along all through my goals and complete them all once this book is completed. Or did I complete? Again, you guys just have to wait. So anyhow, guys, enough with the intro. Let's go ahead and get reading. Even though I've long ago used up my 10 minutes, I open a new window and log into conspiracy talks. Sure enough, the Olivia Shaw thread has exploded. Don't read on me. Hey guys, check this out. News from our favorite baby mama. It's a YouTube clip that is of the ill-fated press conference. My cursor hovers over the play button for a minute, but then I glimpse something that makes me forget all about it. In the next post, there is a link to some tabloid. The headline reads, "Shocking truth about Ella Santos, the kidnapped victim, whose case baffled the nation." And in small letters, Ella's roommate and lover speaks up. My insides turn to ice as I click on the link. The source, who's being referred to as Naomi, tells me about Ella's four ways. Forays. 4 ways? I don't know. Into sex work, her multiple partners. Many times after she'd come over, I noticed things went missing, intimate things, like my lingerie clothes. One time she took a bottle of my favorite perfume and sprayed it all over her things. I've always had nothing but compassion for her, as I know how hard her circumstances are, and I don't want to get her into trouble. If I read any more, I'm going to throw up or do something I'll regret. So I'll close the window. Struggling to contain my rage bubbling in my chest, Natalia, that bitch, the forum members, on the other hand, are having a ball. Roswell 82. Heck, I'd still hit that, LOL. And then Olivia. What?
I am really worried about Pat.
Hey guys, so obviously my grandma interrupted me and I didn't want to read all these different people's names. So I just went ahead and filmed that. There were 10 seconds of each. You guys can just pause that if you wanted to. And I'll obviously write that on there. But anyhow, guys, so my private messages icon flashes, 10 plus. Numbly, I click on it. The first 2 or 3 are from other forum members messaging me about Ella Santos' thread, but the 4th one dates from 2 days ago, and there's no text in the subject line. It's from a username I haven't seen before. Against my better judgment, I opened the message. It's my photo, the same one that was posted in the main thread about Olivia, except unphotoshopped, and I can clearly tell I am leaving my building, and the way I squint in the daylight suggests it's early morning, before my apartment got robbed, or even before that. All the following messages are from different dummy usernames, and every single one has a photo of me outside Natalia's, smoking with Sean outside the police station getting into his car. My head snaps up and I look around. The receptionist looks sleepy behind her desk, but apart from her, the lobby is empty. Shit! The chair nearly goes toppling when I shoot to my feet and race upstairs. The room feels like a pastel-toned cage in which I pace, nervous energy coursing through my arms and legs. My supplies are running low, so I make a beeline for the minibar instead. One tiny bottle upends into my mouth, then another, then another. I don't really look at the labels. On the third, some of the liquid goes the wrong way and I double over coughing. Liquor searing the inside of my nose. Tears pour freely down my face, but once I can breathe, I notice I have a nice buzz going. The booze is kicking in fast. I down one last bottle. By the time my guy gets here, I'll be sober again and able to think. Right, for what I'd do to call him first. I pick up my phone and thumb the contact marked Running Buddy. As usual, Sugar picks up immediately. Princess, what can I do for you? He knows damn well. I tell him where I'm staying, realizing belatedly what a not great idea this is, but he's already hanging up. For a drug dealer, Sugar is reliable as fuck and surprisingly punctual. Okay, I say reliable. I thought it meant, never mind. You could set your watch by him. He's knocking on my room door within 20 minutes. He whistles when he sees the place over my shoulder. Wow, nice digs. What happened? Find a sugar daddy finally? He's making fun of me. Even scum of the earth like Sugar know that I'm damaged goods. Problems with my landlord, I lie artlessly. I don't give a shit what he thinks. I just want my stuff. Hey, his pointed tooth grin widens. If you need a place to stay, as if Sugar lives in a slummy top floor apartment that he has the audacity to call a penthouse. What? I'm always happy to share my place with you. Royalty, he says in a smirk. Do you have the stuff or not? He glances over his shoulder subtly, and the goofy grin vanishes without a trace. There's no time for effing around, and a time for business, not in the hallway. I don't want him inside my room, inside my living space, but he gives a slight nod at the security camera at the end of the hall, and I don't have a choice. Once he stepped in the doorway, I blocked his way so he doesn't get any further into my room. He's pushy, craning his neck, trying to see around, This unwelcome proximity makes the tiny hairs along my spine stand on end. He reaches into the bottomless pocket of his soggy pants and produces the goods. I count out the pills, OxyContin, Adderall, and Xanax, the unholy trinity for one thing life might throw at you. No Ambien, but I should get a refill on my prescription. He tells me the price, and he's usually inflated it way beyond what those pills are actually worth. But right now, I don't give a shit. While I waited for him, I made a trip downstairs to the ATM where I withdrew everything I had in my account. The last dregs of my silver bullet paycheck. I tried not to think about how the bills in my hand were and all I had to my name. I tried not to think that I might need a new job and no one in their right mind would hire me. I count out the 20s. He tips his baseball hat at me and finally heads to the door. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Don't, I returned with a crooked smile. Relief pulls in my chest when I close the door behind him. Although the pellets in my pills in my pocket might also have something to do with it. First thing I do is head into the bathroom to find a new hiding place. I don't have time to get creative, but I don't trust the staff in this place not to snoop around. A vitamin bottle is inconspicuous enough, hiding in plain sight, so I put it on a shelf behind the mirror next to the array of scuffed makeup tubes. I fish out of the bottom of my backpack, just a girl keeping pretty sure I get my A's and B's and C's. I pick out the Adderall and take it. Then I think about it and take another. Any more than that, I get the shakes, or I just gulp down my entire supply. For what I'm about to do, I need to be all I can be. After 35 excruciating minutes on the phone with the insurance company, I pay the fine with my last functioning credit card, gritting my teeth at the astronomical amount of the receipt. But my car is waiting for me in the lot, all mine again. For what it's worth, it looks like a lot worse than I can remember. But as long as it's running, I don't care. Within another half hour, I'm leaving it at the curb across from the Shaws. The house looks lifeless, all windows shrouded in curtains, but the two cars in the driveway tell me they're home. What I hadn't noticed the first time around is that the doorbell is a complicated system with an intercom speaker, a small glaring eye of a camera, and as far as I can tell, the motion detector. I ring and ring to no avail. Don't you ignore me, you lying bastard. Think you can just pretend I'm not there and I'll go away. I knock first lightly, then pound on the door, and before long I hear hurrying footsteps. Jacqueline Shaw looks frail, her skin nearly translucent without makeup. She blinks her red eyes in incomprehension, and the furious triad I had at the tip of my tongue vanishes. Come on in, I bleat. I wouldn't be too surprised if she slammed the door in my face, but she only nods and steps aside. With the lights turned down in the house, the house has to feel of a funeral home after hours. It looks like a layer of dust has settled over everything, muting the colors. I notice the pictures are missing from the walls, leaving behind barely noticeable dark rectangles. Is everything all right? Jacqueline asked. Although, from the looks of it, I'm the one who should be wondering. Her face is getting so thin, and the shadows draw champs beneath her already pointy cheekbones. Everything is not alright, as a matter of fact, but before I can say anything, I hear the crash of a slammed door and thundering footsteps coming from upstairs. The next moment, Tom Shaw appears in the doorway. He hardly looks better than Jacqueline. The stress must be taking a toll on him, too. But while I feel a sort of fledgling sympathy for Jacqueline, the sight of his rumpled t-shirt and under-eye bags only fills me with fury. When he sees me, his shoulders slump. Jesus, Laney, it's you. Who did you expect? Exactly. Olivia to show up on the doorstep? He runs his hands over his face. Anything new. If there's something, if you remember anything, you should call Detective Ortiz. First thing. I don't remember anything, I say. Anxiety uncoils beneath my ribs and turns into rage. But for perhaps you might. Jacqueline takes a step closer. Tom gives me a look of exasperation. What? Lyndon Jakes, I snarl. In the background, Jacqueline makes a strangled sound. Shaw's eyes narrow, and the storm grows closer. I already spoke about this to Detective Ortiz, he says, levelly, and I'm not going to repeat myself to you. Not to mention that this isn't any of your business, and you shouldn't have been here known about it in the first place. Well, it's too late for that, I scowl. This is a private matter, he cuts in. Of my family and my daughter, he emphasized my spitting out each other in an angry staccato. I don't know, staccato? I don't know. So you decide it wasn't important enough to bring up. My mouth twists. I'm starting to feel nauseous and know that the tide of energy can't possibly last. I'll crash, and soon. Jacqueline inches towards me, holding out her hands. Laney? Shaw gives her a withering look. What if it really was him? What if he didn't? Shaw explodes. He didn't touch her, okay? That's why we had to settle without letting it get to the police. We got him to resign because I couldn't very well just as leave as it was, could I? Word would get out, everyone would know about my daughter, and she was only 8. Can you try to understand? What is there to understand? The Marquez woman, the one who testified, he rubs his eyes, she told the truth. My legs feel weak. I can sense a crash coming on, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. But Olivia, she told you, and Jacqueline. Olivia, she says, bitterly spitting out every syllable, pretty much admitted everything to us. She did what they said she did. She didn't mean anything bad by it. She must have seen it on the internet or something. You know how it is. The parental controls can't ever catch it all. And Olivia, she was always like that. Acting out on impulse. Just did whatever she felt like. Uncontrollable. He heaves a sigh. What the hell were you supposed to do, huh? I don't know. Have a serious talk with your daughter? Get her help? Maybe? But I decided to keep my mouth shut, which is for the best because I don't trust myself to speak. Something horrible and profane would come out if I opened my mouth. I don't know what I expected. Shaw's voice is tired, like an outburst consumed the last of his energy. Jacqueline didn't know her history. But I did. I have to admit it. And despite myself, and despise myself for thinking it. But after that incident, I began to wonder if you got a lemon. I say, right now, I don't hate anyone in the world more than I hate this man. I want to punch him and knock that look off his face, along with some of his teeth. Ooh. Come on, Lainey, put yourself in my place, wouldn't you? Tom, Jacqueline says, her voice plaintive. Would I blame an 8-year-old girl for something her father did before she was even born? He groans for a while. He just paces without saying another word. Shit. He covers his face with his hands. Shit. Just listen to me. I don't know what I'm saying. I just stand in the corner of the room, fist clenched, although he doesn't know this because my sleeves have fallen over my hands. I'm nothing but a storm cloud of heartbeat and pumping blood and anger. Lainey, Jacqueline reaches out to touch my arm. She must remember our first encounter because she stops herself, her manicured hand hovering inches above my lint-covered sleeve. I'm so sorry. She draws a breath. When we loved Olivia, we did more than I could have. Yeah, I know that. More than anything. Jacqueline finishes softly. Only then I noticed for the first time she spoke in the past tense. Oh, guys, getting intense. You should go home, Tom Shaw says dryly. He puts a protective arm around his wife when he looks like he's about to start full-on crying. Like it's my damn fault, I silently shake my head. You really should, or I might have to take measures to make you. The threat passes between us, nearly tangible. He has all the power in this situation, and he's making it known. And me, I'm the same. I've always been. I'm no one. I'm powerless. And all I can do is watch from the sidelines, unable to change a damn thing. Jacqueline says her husband's name in a whisper, but loud enough so I can hear the tension in it. Do you want to call me or me to call someone? She asks, and takes a moment to realize she's talking about me. I shake my head. You don't look well enough to drive, she says, her voice still kind, but with a steely note, my bad. Jackie, Tom Shaw speaks up. I'm not kicking her out in this state, she says, talking about me in the third person like I'm not standing right here. I clench my fist. She shows up here, threatening you and you. She wasn't threatening anybody. Look at her, for God's sake. She was devastated as we are. I'll go, I snap, putting them out of their misery. Out of the question, Jacqueline says. I'll call Detective Ortiz, says Tom Shaw. Let him sort it out. No, the word escapes from me before I can stop it. You said I could come anytime I wanted. This one is for Jacqueline, who avoids my gaze to the best of her ability. Can I speak with you? Her husband asks in the living room. They leave me alone, Tom closing the door softly, but with a firm clink as the handle turns. I wait a heartbeat and press myself against the cool, smooth, polished paneling, but can't make out a single sound. This house doesn't have plywood walls like a motel or like my old apartment building. I know I don't have long, so I decide to look around. I race to Jacqueline's purse that sits carelessly on an end table next to a vase of Killa lilies. Or maybe they're orchids, who knows. But when I brush my fingertips against the soft white petal, it's definitely real. My fingernail leaves a translucent bruise, and a delicate scent wafts into my face. real and fresh. How can they think of changing flowers at the time like this? Or maybe they have who help who do these things automatically and just forgot to cancel. Throwing cautious glances at the door, I pick up the purse and slide open the zipper. The purse alone, if I could get it pawn shopped, could get me in rent and pills for a month. Soft cream colored leather with a discreet designer logo attached in gold in the inside lining. The matching wallet is at the bottom, and overcoming a brief flash of contrition, contrition. I don't know what, like a conviction probably. I open it. There are half a dozen gold and black credit cards, which aren't much use to me right now, and no cash, of course not. Why would someone like Jacqueline carry cash around? I glance at the door once more, but whatever they're still talking about, it's keeping them busy. So I turn my attention back to the wallet, hoping to find some money. I open another compartment and my breath catches. There's a photo in a clear plastic insert, a small replica of the family portrait on the wall of the Shaw's house. Tom, Jacqueline, and Olivia against a generic background. I peer closer and realize the photo isn't identical. It's clearly from the same set but different. This one was no doubt discarded as imperfect, except Jacqueline decided to keep it for whatever reason. Tom and Jacqueline stare with determined, cheerful gazes into the uncertain future, but Olivia looks slightly away beyond the invisible frame. She's not smiling. Her eyes, eyebrows, lips are pressed together, thin and serious. When I bring the picture closer to my eyes, I see just how much she looks like me. Not just her features, but her expressions in this is the same one I see every time I accidentally glimpse myself in a reflective surface. Jeez, very long sentence. Before I can compose my face into a blank, pleasing look. A strange feeling spreads through my chest, hot yet hollow, and my mind grows fuzzy around the edges like I washed down painkillers with too big of a gulp of liquor. I'm about to close the wallet and put it back in when I spy the edge of another photo tucked underneath the first one. I catch the edge with my fingernails and tug it out. This one couldn't be more different than the formal family photo that was hiding it. A candid shot, a touch overexposed. It was probably taken with the same camera and printed. It shows Olivia, the mess of curls is hard to confuse with anyone, and a young woman both grinning and holding out ice cream cones like trophies. Olivia looks younger, her hair shorter, and her face round and chubby-cheeked, no older than 7 or 8. I peer closely at the young woman until picture becomes grainy. She looks like Jacqueline, the same slant of the eyes and heartfelt shaped, a younger, prettier version of Jacqueline. I hear movement behind the door and hastily stuff the photo back in its place, throw it into the wallet and into the purse, and then even the hefty dose of medication in my system doesn't start my heart from hammering. But with my luck, no one comes in. Turning my attention back to the purse, I retrieve Jacqueline's phone, which asks for a passcode. It only takes a moment of hesitation, but I'm not too surprised I get it on the first try. The code is Olivia's birthday. Jacqueline is one of those meticulously organized people who has everyone's picture, phone number, and address typed up neatly next to their name, along with their birthday and other information she might need. I thumb through her contacts until I find the name Jacinta, and copy the number and address into my own phone. I put Jacqueline's phone back where I found it, and carefully zip her and hold my breath and listen. Behind the heavy door, they're arguing. No amount of sound insulation can hide that fact. Even though the words are too muffled for me to make out, but she's yelling and he's yelling back. I throw one last glance around. I've had enough. I have things to do. So I leave them to it and slip out the front door, unseen and unheard. In my car, I have to sit for a while, wasting precious minutes until I'm in the right state to drive. It's the last thing I should be doing. I can't afford to get pulled over, although losing my license would be the least of my problems with my history and all. But it's not like I have a choice. Thankfully, the drive to Widgewood is uneventful, and 15 minutes later, I'm pulling up to a small spot, well-maintained bungalow at the address. Jan Quinta, it seems, still lives with her parents, and if I remember correctly from all the news sites and tabloids, goes to Seattle University, for either psychology or sociology, or some other middle-class major. The house has that aggressively neat quality, but blends in perfectly with the rest of the neighborhood. 2 of the windows are lit, but as much as I crane my neck, I can't see a thing through the curtains. 2 cars sit in the driveway, a silver coupe and one of those jeweled Mini Coopers. Janquita's, I'm guessing. I glimpse a third one, a white SUV, under an awning behind the house. It looks normal. Maybe Sean is right, and if I do need help, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I drive past, but it seems I'm unable to press down on the brake pedal. A tremor travels from my core into my hands, and I keep driving until the house is gone out of sight. Only then do I slow down and pull over. Oh my god, guys, 28 minutes. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Well, maybe when Cassidy gets a place, maybe some of that stuff.
Hey everyone, your girl Liz here. So I just got here and oh my god, guys, I can't believe it's free parking. Oh my god. And I'm sorry for that night. And I go back to December all of the time. Hey everyone, your girl Liz here. So coming to you guys today now. I'm gonna go ahead and post. I didn't obviously stop it as soon as I was done because that's obviously really hard to do. You have to stop it, then you have to release the water lock for at least 2 seconds, and then you have to, hit the bottom button, which brings up stop, pause, and 2 other buttons on the left. I'd have to look. I don't even pay attention to them because I don't use them, but I can figure out what they are and show you guys. But anyhow, guys, so I did rather well. The first time it started to slip a little bit, so and it also, the trail cam strap. So it also kind of like pushes your mask down a lot. So I might have to find something a little bit better that I can make sure it's snug and that it won't prevent, move down my mask. It was rather bothersome. So the first time there was that little mistake because of it. So I had to loop the very end of it down in behind my mask for my snorkel. So it was not good. So then I just decided to do like 2 or 3 more tests. They weren't 2-minute stops, but again, guys, this is just practice and we have to slowly get ourselves up there. So I didn't do that well. They were only like 30 seconds. I was able to get out to the 9 feet though, rather well. So I went 2 times out there pretty well, but I could only make it to the 9 feet and then I had to stop. Definitely next time again, work on, swimming out and then making sure that I am able to gain more seconds on my breath. And then what I want to do eventually is get to the point of my breaks possibly being, just simply, just standing in the water, right? Like Alyssa Blake does. So I want to eventually get to there and then see how well I can do. But the last 2 times I just practiced staying at 5 feet. I did 1 loop out and then I made another loop back and I switched into the 6 feet lane when I was making my way back, and I actually went rather deep. I didn't quite touch the bottom though, but I noticed whenever I tried to go like this underneath the water, then my feet were able to, kick down and I almost touched the bottom. So there's definitely a lot of different things that I still have to practice with, and again, build into, and I just shared, my goals for next time and what I'm hoping to eventually get to. So yeah, I definitely feel rather well. Maybe the additional foot on the GoPro will help me. It's kind of a cheat, but hey, that's okay. So yeah, it'll definitely be really fun, guys. I'm really curious to see how I continue to do. But anyhow, speaking of how I started this as well then, and then this will be it because it's over an hour vlog. So, maybe that was, going back to December last year and their ones at gratitude. So again though, that's, only for her to know, and then, me, obviously with mine, even if I did share, you guys probably could have came up with your own things, based upon just how I worded it, and then I brought up that specific example, right? But yeah, it's just that's just amazing, the amazing things that you can do for yourself. And you can't judge it, you can't say if that was why she did it. That's more, of an amplified, oh my god, this is such a great feeling for myself. And you also can't really do that with me too, because it's really hard to, again, judge, emotional excitement and, happy feelings and all of that, and even emotional pain. So yeah, so anyhow guys, I'll go ahead here and get going. Very good celebration video. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. I'll go ahead and edit this really quickly and then just produce this on the way home because this is a very long vlog. And then tomorrow I will start with the rest of the chapter and maybe even another chapter because this is crazy, guys. Alright guys, anyhow, talk to you guys later.